Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC, CSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level and CLAT examinations. And about me, I'm Sandeep Bhushan Tumala, and I take up the analysis of the Hindu newspaper, that is of today's 28th May 2021. And throughout my session, I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the Hindu newspaper, wherein we will try to identify the factual, analytical and conceptual questions which will be critical for UPSC prelims perspective. And while you get into the mode of imbibing the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing for the mains examination, your answers for the mains examination would be precise and concise, and thereby you would score higher marks in the mains examination. So this session at AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis will certainly help you to crack both the prelims as well as mains of 2021. And before we get into the DNA of the newspaper, we would be focusing at the quote of the day, and the quote of the day says that the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. So what is very important is how well you're trying to make sure that you achieve your success depends on your daily routine. And now we'll get into the DNA of the newspaper. And here the news is in regards to the center and the states. So definitely there is a kind of tug of war between the center and the states are certainly trying to pinpoint at the center in regards to the vaccination, and definitely in regards to this, the India's top COVID-19 advisor, that is VK Paul, Dr. VK Paul, has said that the states had coerced the center in regards to expanding the availability of the vaccine. So here the COVID-19 advisor, that is India's top, Dr. VK Paul, is certainly pointing fingers at the states, that the states are coerced the center, that is they are forcing the center in regards to the expanding the availability of the vaccine. But he also makes it very clear that while the states are forcing the center for the expanding of the availability of the vaccine, he is also pinpointing that the states, despite being aware of being inadequately prepared. So the point is that the states are not adequately prepared, but the states are forcing the center in regards to the availability of the vaccine. So this is the nutshell of what the COVID-19 advisor Dr. VK Paul has made a statement against the states in regards to the availability of the vaccine, in spite or despite of the states not being adequately prepared for the vaccination drive. And Dr. VK Paul, who is the chairman of the National Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration, so certainly is the India's top COVID-19 advisor, at the same time is the chairman of the National Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration, that he said that the vaccine supply earlier, which was managed by the center from January to April, was very well administered, but when it was in the month of May, it is not up to the mark in regards to the administration or the management of the vaccine by the center. So this has been said by Dr. VK Paul, that is the chairman of the National Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration. So certainly there is a tug of war between the center and the state. So why we are focusing this is because we are focusing from center and state. So definitely it is in regards to the center-state relationship. So this, what we are focusing would be part of the polity perspective, could be prelims as well as mains perspective. So it is a kind of relations what the center and state has, or else in regards to the federalism approach or federalism approach, that how federal is India in regards to the center-state relations, and how center is trying to make sure that the states are well prepared and adequately prepared in regards to the vaccine, that the vaccination drive could be successful, so that we can effectively, coordinately between the center and the states, we can have a coordinated effort to restrict the spread of the COVID-19 or SARS-CoV-2 virus. So in this regards, that is the center versus states or Indian federalism and the center state relationship. We are focusing this, and we are certainly making sure that is you as a civil servant aspirant has to make sure that how the COVID-19 advisor or the chairman of the National Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration has pinpointed at the states that the states have been forcing the center for the availability of the vaccine in spite or despite they are adequately prepared. And the chairman, that is Dr. V.K. Paul, also said that states who had not even achieved good average of vaccinating the healthcare workers and the frontline workers in 3 months, they are still wanting to open up the process of vaccination, and they wanted more decentralization. So when we are talking about the center versus state, so we were talking about the relationship between the center and the states. So here what is the keyword what we need to focus is decentralization. So how the center is coming up with the decentralization process in regards to the vaccine being provided to the states, and how the states are coercing or forcing the center for the expansion of the vaccine in spite that the states have not achieved good coverage of healthcare workers and frontline workers of being vaccinated in the last 3 months, but still the states wanted to open up the process of vaccination, and they wanted more of decentralization of vaccination. So this is a concern by the center, and that is what the National Empowered Group on Vaccine Administration Chairman Dr. V.K. Paul has pinpointed about the kind of approach the states are taking up against the center in regards to the vaccine administration. And he also made it very clear the health is a state subject, and when health is a state subject, the center is definitely going ahead with a liberalized vaccine policy, and the liberalized vaccine policy was a result of taken up by the center was result in regards to the incessant requests, that is many requests which were made by the states, and the center is definitely making sure that as the health is a state subject, they wanted the states to be having more of power in regards to the vaccination. And that is why the center says that the liberalized vaccine policy was taken up as a result of making the states more powerful in regards to the vaccination. And the point here what the center is making is that they are definitely wanting the states to be more powerful in regards to the vaccination drive, so that the spread of SARS-CoV-2 virus can be contained effectively by both the center and the states, but making the states more powerful or making more powerful the states in regards to the vaccination drive. And he also said that the vaccines are in short supply, not only in India but also in the world, and he also makes it very clear that it is not easy to procure them at a short notice, which the states are coercing the center for expansion or the availability of the vaccine. And there are incessant or many requests by the states to the center that the vaccination drive has to be taken up very fast. So effectively we have analyzed in regards to the center-state relations, but focusing in regards to the SARS-CoV-2 or the vaccination drive. So there is definitely this point has to be taken into consideration while you as a civil servant aspirants would focus on the center-state relations, center-state relationship, how in regards to the center has gone ahead with making the states more powerful in regards to the vaccination drive, wherein in turn, the states are coercing, forcing the center for the unavailability of the vaccine, even though the states are not adequately prepared. But as health being a state subject, the center is making sure that the liberalized vaccine policy would be taken into consideration only to make sure that the states are more powerful in regards to the vaccination drive. So the center-state relations here, we can make it how the center is going ahead with making the states more powerful in regards to the vaccination drive. And there is another news in regards to the Twitter defaming India or defying laws. Who is saying this? The government is saying that. So before the government says what the Twitter is going ahead with the kind of defaming or defying laws, we will look at what the Twitter has expressed. The micro-blogging platform, that is Twitter, has expressed concerns over the intimidation tactics by the Delhi police and a potential threat to the freedom of expression in India. So these are the two concerns which have been expressed by the micro-blogging platform, that is Twitter, that are intimidation tactics by the Delhi police and a potential threat to the freedom of expression in India. So these are the two substantial keywords which we need to focus, that how the Twitter has expressed concern over the government of India, and in turn the Twitter, that is the company, has pointed out that it was compelled, that is the Twitter was compelled by the government of India to withhold some content. So definitely the company is challenging what the government of India has gone ahead with the Twitter, the company, and the company says that it was compelled, it was forced to withhold some content which constituting legitimate free speech. So when there is a free speech or the freedom of expression, but still the government of India is compelling the Twitter in regards to withholding some content. So this is what is been pointed by the micro-blogging platform Twitter. And in response, and this, it's saying that it is wanting to withhold, this is in response to the non-compliance notice. So definitely the government of India has provided a non-compliance notice to the Twitter, saying that it has gone ahead with making an freedom of expression, but wherein they are made sure that they should be withholding some content under the laws, under the limited scope, that is under Section 69A of Information and Technology. So this is the key word what we need to focus from prelims perspective, that how far Section 69A of the Information and Technology Act, which the government of India has taken into consideration and has asked the microblogging platform Twitter to withhold some content which are constituting legitimacy in regards to the free speech, and that is what the Twitter has gone ahead with, expressing the concern over the government of India in regards to the one is in regards to the intimidation tactics by the Delhi police and the potential threat to the freedom of expression in India. And this is under the Section 69A, which the Twitter is now pointing out. And we have seen that not only Twitter now, the micro-blogging platform, that we have seen that earlier, that is in the recent past, and also last week, we have seen that the messaging app WhatsApp has also filed a legal challenge to India's new IT guidelines. So definitely the information and technology guidelines are the one which are creating problems, which the Twitter and WhatsApp are pointing out that they have a intimidation tactics by the Delhi police and a potential threat for the freedom of expression in India. And in response to the Twitter and the WhatsApp, and especially focusing on now in regards to the Twitter, the government has hit back, saying that the statements made by the Twitter are baseless, false, and they are just an attempt to defame India so that they can hide their Twitter's own problems or follies. And in response to the Twitter, what the Twitter has made, that there are concerns in regards to the intimidation tactics and also in regards to the freedom of expression. The Ministry of Electronics and IT has said that the government strongly controverts, that is, it is against the claims which are made by the Twitter in regards to the concerns which the Twitter has put forward in regards to the intimidation tactics and the freedom of expression, which is a threat. And the government of India also says that, or in response to the Twitter's strongly opposing to the claims made by the Twitter, India has said that India has a glorious tradition of freedom of speech and a democratic practices which India follows in its glorious tradition from way back centuries. And also the government says that protecting free speech in India is a commitment to the world's largest democracy, which is India, and its robust institutions. So definitely the free speech is definitely a commitment that India is the largest democratic country and its robust institutions are the one which India will protect the free speech. So here what the concerns are, what we need to focus is in regards to the information and technology guidelines which have been taken up and the Section 69A which have been raised concerns by the Twitter in regards to the freedom of expression in India. And there is another news in regards to the submitting of compliance reports within 15 days. So this compliance reports have to be submitted within 50 days, and this is the information or the statement made by the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. And the Information and the Broadcasting Ministry has asked the digital media platforms. So who has to submit the compliance reports within 15 days? It is the digital media platforms to the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. So the digital media platforms have to go ahead with submitting the compliance report within 50 days to the Information and Broadcasting Ministries, and these are as per the new intermediary rules. So as per the new intermediary rules, the digital media platforms have to submit the compliance report within 50 days to the Information and Broadcasting Ministry under the Information and Technology Act. So the keywords are digital media platform, new intermediary rules, and the Information and Broadcasting Ministry, and the Information Technology Rules 2021. So we will focus at what are the rules which are in regards to the IT, that is Information Technology Rules 2021. So there are the rules which have been taken up by the government or the Parliament of the central government, that is the Information Technology Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code. So this is the crucial one for the mains perspective, UPSC mains perspective, that the intermediary guidelines and the digital media ethics codes, which are part of the Information Technology Rules 2021, and this was notified by the government on February 25, 2021. And based on this new Information Technology Rules 2021, that is intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics codes, under this, that is a new intermediary rules, the digital media platforms have to submit the compliance reports within 15 days under the Information Technology Act or the Information Technology Rules 2021 to the Information and Broadcasting Ministry. And this is what is very important for prelims as well as mains examination. That is, we are talking about the digital media ethics codes. So this could be part of the mains perspective in regards to the ethics paper, that how the digital media platforms have to get into the mode of observing or definitely follow the ethics codes in the media or in regards to the digital media. And these rules, that is the Information Technology Rules 2021, brings digital media under the government monitoring, and the new Information Technology Rules 2021 will bring or will give emergency powers to the ministry to block any kind of content by the digital media platform. That is why the Information and Broadcasting Ministry is asking the digital media platform to submit a compliance report as per the new, that is Information Technology Rules 2021, which comprises the intermediary guidelines and the digital media ethics code, will definitely make sure that the digital media will be brought under the ambit of the government monitoring, and it will give the government a more emergency powers to the ministry so that they can block any content if they feel it is discriminatory and which is against the digital media ethics code as per the Information and Technology Rules 2021. And the New Broadcasters Association or News Broadcasters Association, NBA, have urged the government to exempt and exclude the traditional television news media. Please do understand, the NBA, that is News Broadcasters Association, has urged the government to exempt and exclude the traditional television news media from the new IT Rules 2021, because it says that, or it is also arguing, it has urged the government to exclude the traditional television news media on the digital news platform from the ambit of IT Rules 2021, and the News Broadcast Association is also arguing that when you have already a sufficiently regulated mechanism in place by various statutes, laws, guidelines, codes and regulations, what is the need for the new IT Rules 2021, that is in regards to the intermediary guidelines and digital media ethics code, that is Information Technology Rules 2021. So definitely it is urging the government to exempt and exclude the traditional television news media from the new or from the ambit of the IT Rules 2021. And it is also arguing that when there is already in place a sufficiently regulated mechanism or the rules and regulations, then what is the necessary for the new IT Rules 2021 when we have various statutes, laws, guidelines, codes and regulations in place? So what is the requirement or what is the necessity for the new IT Rules 2021, that is Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Codes? So this is very crucial for prelims and mains from Information and Technology IT, Information and Technology Rules 2021. So this could be both for prelims as well as mains perspective. And there is another news which is in regards to the, we have seen that there was a 11-day war between the Israel and Hamas, that is Israel and Gaza. Specifically, it was between Israeli government or military with Hamas. And in regards to that, we have seen that Israel has gone ahead with bombarding or gone ahead with attacking Hamas, or not only Hamas, they have also attacked the civilians in Gaza Strip. And that is now what is in news today. And Gaza attack may constitute war crimes. So definitely Israelis have gone ahead with a deadly strikes on the Gaza. And because of this deadly strike onto the Gaza, there is a report that definitely the attack was not onto the Hamas or Hamas hideouts, but it was onto the civilians also. So that is what has been addressed in a special session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. So this is the key phrase what we need to focus. That is the 11-day war between Israel and Hamas. And this has now been discussed or addressed at a special session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. And the United Nations Human Rights Chief, that is Michelle Bachelet, has voiced deep concerns about the high level of civilian fatalities and injuries which have been caused because of the Israel's recent deadly airstrikes onto the Gaza. That is the Palestinians. So we know that Gaza Strip is part of the Palestine along with the West Bank. And the United Nations Rights Chief has also said that Israel's recent deadly airstrikes on Gaza, if at all, if it is found to be indiscriminate and disproportionate, that they have gone ahead with striking the civilians and the civilian objects, then it may attack or it may constitute a war crimes onto Israel. So this is the statement made by the United Nations Rights or Human Rights Chief, that if Israelis deadly airstrikes on Gaza, if found that they have been taken up indiscriminately and disproportionately onto the civilians and the civilian objects in Gaza, then it may constitute to war crimes. So what is the keyword here is war crimes is the keyword. That how we have seen that the kind of the Sri Lankan military have gone ahead with attacking the civilians or the Tamilians in the LTT war against the LTTs in the LTT war. So same way, there could be a possibility that if found that there was discriminately and disproportionately deadly airstrikes being taken up by Israel onto the Gaza, then it might constitute a war crime. And UN Rights Chief has also stressed that there were firing being made by Hamas, even they were made indiscriminately, and the Hamas could not, or they have failed to distinguish between the military and civilian objects of even Israelis. And thereby, even Hamas has gone ahead with violating the international humanitarian law. So definitely, United Nations Human Rights Chief has pinpointed or stressed the kind of ill effects or the way the Israelis and Hamas have failed to distinguish the military and civilian objects. And Now we will also focus in regards to not only what the Israelis and Palestinians or Hamas and the United Nations Human Rights say, but also OIC, that is Organization of Islamic Cooperation, has also gone ahead with presenting a draft resolution to the United Nations Human Rights Council, so that the United Nations Human Rights Council would urgently establish an ongoing independent International Commission of Inquiry. So OIC is wanting the United Nations Human Rights Council to urgently establish an ongoing independent International Commission of Inquiry in the occupied Palestinian territory, which includes East Jerusalem and also in Israel. So this is what. So now when we are talking about only that is not between Israel and Hamas or Gaza or Palestine, in between this you have seen the United Nations Human Rights Council, but we have also seen that now OIC has also presented a draft resolution to the United Nations Human Rights Council, so that the council can urgently establish an independent International Commission of Inquiry in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem and Israel, in regards to the war crimes, or the way it has gone ahead with Israel going ahead with attacking the civilians, and it has created a lot of chaos. Not only civilians, it has also attacked the hospitals. That is what is been in the resolution draft by the OIC. And I hope this session was informative, knowledgeable, and also very critical for mains perspective. So I would say a very big thank you to all. Good luck to you all, and do maintain consistency, stick to your schedule, and take care of your physical health and mental health. And then do like the video, share the video, subscribe the AKS IAS Academy English Medium YouTube channel, and also have access to the website and Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy. And then see you again tomorrow with the daily news analysis at AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. Till then, thank you, goodbye, and then take care.